Picture this. It's a Saturday afternoon. You walk into a new bubble tea shop looking to treat yourself. The menu reads large $8.99, medium $6.99, and small $5.99. The staff greets you enthusiastically. The large is twice as big as the medium and it's only $2 more to upgrade. You do the math in your head. $2 for double the amount? That's a steal. So, without hesitation, you go for the $8.99 one. The result? You get halfway through, realize you've had enough, and toss the rest in the trash. Here's another scenario. Black Friday. You spot an appliance you like. The original price of $290 is crossed out in red, and next to it, in big bold numbers, is $99. Oh my gosh, I'm saving $200. You excitedly add it to your cart, completely forgetting you didn't even need it. It ends up in your storage room, and 3 months later, you don't even remember you own it. Do these scenarios sound familiar? Every time we see words like original price or special offer, it's like we fall under a spell. We think we're saving money, but actually we're just buying more and more. The money goes out, the stuff gathers dust, and eventually we forget about it. Your money just quietly slips away. Hi, I'm Sandra. Let's bring in common sense back to finance, powered by AI. Today, we are breaking down the cognitive trap that is draining your wallet, the anchoring effect. Anchoring is exactly what it sounds like, dropping an anchor to secure a ship so it doesn't drift away. In the consumer world, businesses use a number to anchor your thinking, making you lose your judgment and fixate entirely on that one figure. Don't believe me? Let's try a 5-second intuition test. Please be honest with yourself and go with the very first number that pops into your head. Question: do you think the average person unlocks their phone screen more than 500 times a day or less than 500 times? Okay, I'm guessing you thought something like, since she said 500, maybe 300 or 400. Here is the answer. According to statistics, the average person unlocks their phone only about 60 to 80 times a day. Even heavy users usually clock in around 150 times. That is way lower than the 500 you might have imagined, right? So why was your guess so high? Because in my question, I deliberately dropped a 500 anchor. Even though you knew it was a bit of an exaggeration, your brain's baseline was forcibly dragged up by that number. If I had asked, is it more than 50 times or less than 50 times, the number you guessed would have been significantly lower. This is the scariest part of the anchoring effect. Even if you know the number is made up, like a retailer's inflated original price, your judgment still gets dragged towards it. Many people have heard of the anchoring effect, but the moment we step into a mall or face a salesperson, we get swept up in the heat of the moment and forget everything. Here's the good news. It's actually pretty easy to catch. The second you feel that sudden urge to buy something, that's your cue. Warning signs are flashing. Like when you see that red line slash through the original price or a big limited time offer banner, and suddenly you're thinking, oh no, I might miss out. Or when a salesperson says, it's just a tiny bit more to upgrade, and you feel like you're winning. Or when buying a big ticket item, you think, if I just break it into monthly payments, it doesn't feel like a big difference. So you bite the bullet and go for the premium option. Those moments? That's someone dropping an anchor on you. In this episode, I'm not just talking about how to spot these anchors. Think of it as a practice run at home. With AI as your purely logical partner, you can replay these situations and build your anti-anchor instinct. So the next time you're standing at a counter or sitting at a negotiation table, you won't get swayed so easily. As for tools, you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, or even the AI assistant on your phone, whatever you're comfortable with. I mostly use Gemini, ChatGPT for analysis. Of course, AI can make mistakes or hallucinate data. Your job is to use it for a first rough calculation, then double-check it with your own common sense. Honestly, the smartest move is to ask the same question in a few different AI tools and see what overlaps. Below, I'm sharing 4 moves to help you use AI to see through and even leverage the anchoring effect. Every move is practical, but the 4th one is the key to switching from defense to offense. If you have any negotiations coming up, you'll definitely want to stick around for that. Move 1, break the original price anchor. Ask, what is it really worth? Let's deal with that deceptive original price. That crossed out $299 is the anchor the merchant dropped. We're gonna ask AI to tell us the real value of this product. Next time you see one of those deep discounts, don't buy it yet. Open ChatGPT or Gemini and paste in this prompt to get the lowdown on what this product is really worth. I'm thinking about buying this coffee machine. It's listed at $299 but discounted to $99. The core features are A, B, and C, but I'm not sure if it's actually worth it. Can you help me check? What is the typical market price for a machine with these specs? Does this brand have a high markup? Are there better value alternatives? At this point, AI probably won't spit out a super precise number like it's worth exactly $85 because prices move around, but it will give you something better. While this is listed at $299 based on its specs, the mainstream market range for similar products is usually between $80 and $120. Also, this brand typically carries about a 30% brand premium. You might want to check out Model X from brand Y. The specs are almost identical, and it retails for $90 year-round. See, that's enough. You don't need the AI to tell you it's worth exactly $85. You just need to focus on market range $80 to $120 and high brand premium. That $299 anchor instantly loses its power. You thought $99 was a steal, but now you realize you're just paying what it's worth or maybe even overpaying. We don't want a search engine, we want a rational frame of reference. If you want to take it a step further, ask one more question. If I use this less than 10 times a year, is it still worth buying? When the AI tells you that using this machine 10 times means each cup of coffee costs you $10 in machine wear, plus it takes up space and gathers dust, you'll naturally reconsider. Is there a better place for this money to go? Move 2. Break the price difference anchor. Calculate the hidden costs. Don't just look at the difference. Anchoring hits hardest when you're dealing with big-ticket purchases, especially with cars, houses, or renovations. Once you get anchored by "it's only a little bit more," you can easily waste a lot of money. Take buying a car, for example. I was planning on a $45,000 car. Then I see my colleague's $65,000 luxury car, and my brain immediately starts talking me into it. It's only 20 grand more. If I spread it over 5 years, it's just a few $100 a month. I can totally swing that. See, you think you're only looking at a $20K difference, but here's the scary part. That sticker price? It's just the beginning, not the end. This is where AI becomes your best friend. Throw both options at it and let it do the math you definitely don't want to do yourself. I'm debating between two cars, a fully loaded standard brand for $45K and an entry-level luxury brand for $65K. I live in a North American city and drive about 20,000 kilometers a year. Help me estimate the real cost over the next 5 years. Include depreciation, gas, insurance, maintenance, and repairs. What is the difference in the total amount of money leaving my wallet? Just give me a ballpark range. The AI will lay out everything you usually ignore. Luxury cars often suffer cliff dive depreciation in the first few years. Gas costs will be significantly higher, and so will insurance. Parts, maintenance, and repairs have luxury price tags too. In the end, you'll likely see a sobering number. The sticker price difference is $20K, but the real cost over 5 years could easily be $30K or $40K more. AI isn't God. It's not 100% correct. After the calculation, run it through your own common sense regarding gas prices and cost of living. Just like driving with GPS, you still have to watch the road. And that's the moment things flip. You stop running on someone else's number and you start using your own. That's when a new way of thinking clicks into place. Of course, driving a luxury car just hits different. Maybe you're tempted to bump your budget from $45K to $65K just because your colleague's new car looks so damn good. Here's a trick. Ask AI to be future you 3 months later after the hype dies down. Try this. Act as me 3 months in the future. The novelty of the new car has completely worn off. Give me a reality check. What did that extra $20K actually get me? Break down the extra monthly cost and how it hits my 3-year savings plan. If I stick with the $45K car instead of upgrading, will future me feel relieved or will I regret it? AI doesn't care about protecting your fantasy. It just fast forwards to the moment after the dopamine wears off and shows you what's left. Move 3. Break the incremental anchor, ignore the difference, and look at cost per use. Now, let's talk about the sneakiest anchor, the one that makes you an easy mark, the incremental anchor. Companies love this line. For just $2 more, make it a large or unlock the membership or go ad-free. Let me say this first. I'm not that boring financial advisor who tells you, oh, just skip one bubble tea a day and you'll be financially free. If that large bubble tea on a Friday afternoon literally saves your sanity and gives you a huge emotional boost, it's absolutely worth it, even if it costs $10. What I'm pushing back against is the kind of upgrade you don't even think about. Like when you sign up for a streaming service just to watch one show. They tempt you with, first month, only $3.99 for Gold VIP. It feels cheap, so you click. The show ends, you forget to cancel. And the subscription just keeps charging you every month. That kind of spending, that's pure waste. Now, hand this over to AI, but don't just ask it to do the math. Ask it to turn the cost into something you can actually feel. Try asking this. My membership is $9 a month, but checking my history, I only used it 3 times last month. Actually, I rarely use it more than 5 times. Convert this cost into a real-life scenario and ask me a question that makes me really feel, in my gut, whether this money is worth it. AI forces that hidden expense to show up as a pay-per-view choice. Since you only used it 3 times, your cost to skip an ad was $3. Imagine this. Next time you open the app and the ad starts, a button pops up saying, "Pay $3 to skip this 30 seconds immediately." Would you click pay without hesitation? Or would you think, forget it, spend $3 to save 30 seconds? I'll just wait. Most people wouldn't dream of handing over $3 in cash just to save 30 seconds. But when that cost is buried inside a monthly fee, you stop feeling the pain. What AI does is bring that invisible Pay Now button right back in front of your face. This math is so basic, a kid could do it. The problem is, most of us are either too lazy or honestly a little afraid to run the numbers. Letting AI step in forces everything onto the table. It puts into words the stuff you'd rather not think about and then turns around and asks you, are you really okay signing up for an open-ended subscription just for a bit of occasional convenience? Because once you do, it's like leaving the tap open and watching your money quietly drain away. This isn't about math. It's about letting a tool say the things you don't want to say to yourself. The same logic applies when you're trying to hit free shipping. You know the moment you're about to add a $20 filler item just to save $10 on shipping. That's when I ask AI to run a little honesty test for me. I'm about to buy this $20 item just to get free shipping. Be honest with me. Do I actually need this, or am I just being hijacked by the words free shipping? AI will usually walk you through a very simple mental picture. Close your eyes for a second. Picture this. Right before you click pay, a message suddenly pops up. Congratulations, free shipping for everyone today. No minimum. Now the choice is back in your hands. Do you feel relieved? Quickly delete that $20 filler item and save the money? Or do you think, you know what, even with free shipping, I still want this, and go ahead and pay? If deleting it feels like relief, you weren't buying the item. You were buying free shipping. The goal here isn't to make you sacrifice your quality of life. It's to help you pull your money out of those unconscious black holes so you can spend it on things that actually matter to you. You know, you've really beaten the anchoring effect when you can clearly say, this dollar went exactly where I wanted it to go. Move 4. Active anchoring. Turn AI into your ally. This last move is the advanced level. If anchoring is this powerful, why only use it to defend yourself? When you use it right, it becomes a serious weapon at the negotiation table. Just one rule. Your anchor has to be placed really well. Scenario 1. Buying a home or any second-hand deal. Let's say you like a pre-owned house listed at $850,000. A lot of people hear some so-called negotiation hacks and immediately think, easy, I'll just cut 15% and offer $750,000. What happens next? The seller feels insulted and stops taking you seriously. That's what I call an anchor fail. You didn't negotiate. You just knocked yourself out of the conversation. The smarter move is this. Before you make an offer, run what I call an anger test with AI. First, give AI the key pros and cons of the property. Then ask it something like this. I'm thinking about offering $750,000 on a house listed at $850,000. Please pretend you're an emotional, stubborn seller. When you hear my $750,000 offer, would you feel so insulted that you shut down the conversation, or would you be annoyed but still willing to counter? Given that this home has been on the market for 3 months without selling, help me write a reason for my offer that's low, but not disrespectful. At this point, AI plays a different role. It's not there to make up numbers. It's there to help you line up your logic. It might say something like this. Going straight in with a $750,000 offer is risky. A better move is to anchor your price to real repair costs. For example, I really like this home, but my contractor estimates it'll cost about $100,000 to redo the floors and renovate the kitchen. Given those hard costs, the highest net price I can justify is $750,000. See the difference? The number is still $750,000. But once you anchor it to $100,000 in repair costs, the seller no longer hears, "This buyer is trying to lowball me." Instead, they hear, "This buyer has done the math. This is a real cost issue." That's when your low anchor actually sticks. Scenario 2, salary negotiations, turning expected salary into market reality. In job interviews, the scariest question from HR is always, "So, what's your expected salary?" And if you answer honestly, "I'm looking for a 20% raise," you've basically already lost, because that anchor is based on your past, and strong negotiation anchors should be based on where the market is going, not where you've been. Before the interview, don't just ask AI, "How much does this job pay?" That's not very helpful, and honestly, it might just make something up. What you really want is to have AI play the other side. Try asking it this. I'm interviewing for position. I have 5 years of relevant experience and skills in Y and Z. I'm planning to ask for a $120,000 annual salary. Please pretend you're an HR manager with a tight budget who's trying to negotiate me down. How would you push back on my $120,000 ask? Then help me prepare a response based on the scarcity of my skill set so I can defend this number and hold my ground. First, AI will push back, realistically. It might say something like, "Our budget is around $100,000, and your ask is higher than what we had in mind." Then it helps you think through a calm, logical response. "I understand the budget is $100,000. What stood out to me is that this role requires both skill Y and skill Z. That combination is quite rare in today's market. If the company had to hire 2 separate people to cover these responsibilities, the total cost could easily reach $150,000. From that perspective, a $120,000 package actually makes this a more efficient hire. This is the real power of this move. You're not just walking into a negotiation with a number. You're walking in armed with logic, backed by AI. So when you put that number on the table, you're not guessing or hoping it sticks. You're presenting a complete case. And if the other side wants to push you down, they can't just argue about the number anymore. They have to break your logic first. And that's a much harder fight. What I'm sharing here isn't something you're meant to copy line by line. It's a shift in how you think. Once that shift clicks, you can take these ideas, adapt them, and apply them to your own situations, whether it's money, work, or negotiations that actually matter to you. Because methods are just the entry point, judgment is the real goal. And that's why the anchoring effect isn't going anywhere. It will always be there. Either someone else sets the anchor for you, or you learn to set it yourself. Instead of constantly orbiting around someone else's numbers, start using AI to prepare just a little more. And slowly, those big decisions about homes, jobs, and major purchases shift from being led by the nose to "I know where I'm going." Before you go, let me ask you one thing. When was the last time you felt anchored? Was it buying a car, a home, or that skincare set you're still somehow not done with? Drop your story in the comments. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been there. And if today's episode made your wallet feel just a little safer, feel free to like, subscribe, and share it with that one friend who's always in buy mode. I'm Sandra. I'll see you in the next one.